It is officially back to school season, and that is my favorite time of year. Maybe I'm just a nerd, but I really love going back to school. And if you're like me, you're always scouring the internet at this point in time for back to school advice, how to be the most prepared you can ever be. I'm going to be giving you all my high school tips and tricks that got me through the past 4 years as I enter into my first year of college now. This video is going to be a 3 or 4 part series, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of the series. Without further ado, let's go back to school. This video is going to be broken up into 4 chapters: confidence, friendships, academics, and activities. Starting with confidence, one of the things I wish I knew going into my freshman year was that people are paying less attention to you than you think. And I actually have a really good example of this. During my junior year, I was waiting for my English teacher to let me in class. So the entire class is waiting in the hallway, and the rest of the kids in the hallways are also waiting to get into their classes. And I was just fooling around with my best friend. And then I did a cartwheel in the hallway because I was like, whatever. When I tell you, nobody batted an eye. Nobody cared. There was one person that like texted me about it like afterwards. They were like, oh, I saw you did a cartwheel in the hallway. That was crazy. To me, that's like nothing. It's whatever. It's high school. It's not that serious. And even if they do notice, nobody's gonna like walk up to you and be like,
ew, that was so cringe. Don't ever do that again.
That's crazy. If they say that to you, just be like, whatever, you're washed. Well, don't say that. It's really not that serious. You're in high school. Have fun. Relax. Number 2, going kind of hand in hand with that first point, is that embarrassing moments are forgotten a lot faster than you would think. I feel like I've done a lot of random, I guess some people would consider embarrassing things. Nobody is paying attention. And the thing is, like, even if they do see it, they move on literally 2 seconds later because they're wrapped up in their own conversations, in their own life, with their own things going on. So it's really not that serious to be embarrassing or cringy or whatever. It's genuinely those experiences and those formative years that truly build your confidence into realizing that it doesn't matter what other people think about you. It doesn't matter what other people say about you, because at the end of the day, what you think about yourself and what you say about yourself is what's gonna stick with you, because they're not going home with you. It's you and your inner voice that's going home and sitting with your thoughts. And honestly, it's just all part of the high school experience. Running to lunch, doing all the silly things, it's all part of the experience. And honestly, those are the memories you're gonna look back on and be like, oh my gosh, like that was actually kind of crazy that I did that. Those things help build your confidence and build your self-esteem, because slowly but surely you realize, other people's opinions don't matter to me, and they're not going to control what I do or how I do it because I'm scared of what they might think. And the last thing in this section is realizing that there's a lot more to your life than going to school. When you genuinely realize going to school is only like part of your life, and I mean it in the sense of not perceiving yourself as just a student. Closer to maybe 8th grade, 9th grade, very early on in my like high school years, I kind of just saw myself as a student, and the only thing in my life was, I'm a student, this is all I do. But when you realize school is just a couple hours out of your day, and that you are whoever you want to be outside of that, you have a YouTube channel, you stream, you paint, you draw, you do whatever, you dance, whatever it is, you are a person outside of school. So having school not be your entire identity really does help build your self-esteem, because it's like no matter what happens inside of school, whether it's a bad grade, whether it's friendship drama, whatever it is, you have something else to go home and do. You don't just dwell on whatever it is that's happening inside of school. So I feel like that also really builds your confidence in knowing that there's so many more parts to you, and you're so much more complex than just, oh, I'm just another student. It really does shift your mindset, and I feel like some of that can only come with time. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to have it all figured out, to be the most confident, magnetic person you've ever seen. Just give it time and show yourself some grace as you go through the process. Okay, friendships. Not every friendship is supposed to last 4 years, and that is perfectly okay. I feel like over the 4 years, my immediate friend group shrunk to 2 people. I've never been a fan of big friend groups, so I've never really had a big friend group, but my general circle that I would talk to on a daily basis shrunk so much, and at some points it would feel lonely. I was like, man, I don't have any friends, like nobody invites me to anything. It's really okay. It's a part of life, because as time goes on, you identify your values, you identify the values of other people, and sometimes they don't align with your values, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean that you hate the person, you have beef with the person. No, it's just you're growing and you're maturing. You're becoming the person that you're meant to be. In that process, you can lose friends, but you also gain friends, and you can also strengthen the friendships you have. And I feel like that's one of the things that helps keep me grounded in that sense, because even though it felt kind of lonely because I didn't have this like variety of friends, the friends that I did have, the relationships we had were so in depth and so real and authentic, and I genuinely have like a deep connection with those people. That is just priceless. I would take 2 good friends over 10 any day. And this leads me into my next point. Having a few good friends and just focusing on those intimate, personal, close relationships that you have with other people, those are so critical for your high school years, because when you're going through something, when you're struggling, it's not everybody you can tell your business to. Like, that's one of the things that I learned, and I learned this in middle school actually. There was this enormous friend group, at least it was enormous to me. It's very easy to get caught up in drama with those big friend groups. Like, everybody's gossiping about everybody, it's toxic, it's crazy, but you'll never see that because like they just post when they're together and it's like, oh my gosh, yay, we're best friends. But they're beefing every other week. It's really a sight to see. You just gotta like witness it from afar off, maybe even experience it, but it is something. So focusing on those few good friends that you know aren't gonna go gossip about you and spread rumors and do all these other crazy diabolical things is really going to help you in your own journey and just growing and learning the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. And one of the most important things about high school friendships is that you shouldn't stay around people that are constantly bringing you down. You should have friends that support you and support your achievements, and they're not secretly jealous of you, because it always comes out. It always comes out in snide, sly remarks that are just like, oh, that was weird. Why would you say something like that? And it's just those little things. Those are the red flags you look out for. Like this red, yes, those are the red flags you look out for. Stay away from that. Eventually it grows. The longer you allow that kind of disrespect to come into your life, you're just gonna accept it more and more and more, and then that person is gonna see that, oh,
whatever, I can just say whatever to them, do whatever it is, they're not gonna say anything.
No, you need to stand your ground and you need to be like, no, this is where I draw the line. You're not going to speak to me any kind of way, say any type of thing that you want to say because you feel like saying it. Sometimes it's kind of just like a feeling. Sometimes it's not outright disrespect, like,
ew, you're so ugly.
What? That's kind of crazy. If somebody's insulting you like that, even if they're supposed to be a friend or whatever, don't take that. Don't laugh with the joke. Don't laugh with the joke. I used to struggle with that, where I would just laugh at jokes that weren't funny because I was just so uncomfortable. I'm like, I have no idea what to do. So it's like nervous laughter. It's not that I agree with you. Get a grip on that, because that is really when the tides start changing. In those scenarios, don't laugh along. Truly stand your ground and speak up for what you believe and the kind of values and standards that you hold your friends to. I feel like it's a very good thing to have standards with your friends. Standards, boundaries are good. Remember that. Your academics. And this is coming from someone who was ranked 9 in their class, 4.9 weighted GPA, everything like that. If you want to see more in depth of my stats and my courses, go check out this video right here. Let me give you a tip for your end of year exam. So you're taking ACE, AP, EOC, you have your end of year exams. For AP Gov, my senior year, last AP ever, I had senioritis. I was like, whatever, I'm not studying for this. I really didn't study for the AP Gov test, but I got a 4 on it. And I think that's because I just prioritized active studying throughout the year instead of cramming. This kind of requires a level of preparedness and actual intentional planning, because if you know you're not good with like last minute studying, you need to be studying throughout the year. And this brings me to finding study techniques that actually work for you. Some people work best with active recall, some people work best with the Feynman technique, which is either you teaching yourself or teaching a group of friends what it is that you know about the topic, and from there you can see what you know and see what you don't know. And it's just like, that doesn't work for everybody. For others it works great. So finding your specific studying method which works great for you and using that to excel. For me, I try a lot of different methods all the time. I need to actually like lock in with that, because I heard college studying is a different level of studying, so I need to actually lock in on a study technique. But for me, I feel like what works best for me is reading throughout the year, revisiting topics throughout the year instead of doing one big study session. For me, that looks like I just slowly review the information and keep adding on, while not completely abandoning the first fundamental things we learned. And there's probably some name for that technique. This is more of a struggle for like freshmen or sophomores or just very early on in your high school career. I feel like you should have this down pat by the time that you're like a junior or senior, but it's not waiting till you're failing to ask for help, because by then it's too late. You already have an F in the class, you didn't do 7 assignments, like you're not going back. Your academic lock-in is not happening. Do not wait until you're failing to ask for help. Even if you don't have anything crazy, just ask for clarity for something. Even if you're not struggling, another person in your friend group might be, and in helping them review the material, you're also reviewing yourself. Focus on maintaining getting a good grade and a good GPA rather than trying to rebuild it from scratch. And I know some assignments at times can get overwhelming because, like I said, you have like 7 different assignments that you're missing. Missing one assignment is okay. Every now and then something slips through the cracks. It's fine. Just don't let it snowball. Don't get stuck in feeling so depressed and sad that you missed that one assignment that you end up not doing 10 other assignments. When you get there, kind of just try and pick yourself back up and focus on doing better the next time. This is going to be my biggest, most favorite, most used tip ever. Get a planner. Get an academic planner. I think I've had a planner for about like 6 years now. Every year of school, I get a planner. This is the one I have now. It's small, it's cute. It helps me keep my tasks and assignments organized so that I'm not missing things, so things aren't falling through the cracks like I mentioned earlier, especially if you have a busy schedule of sports, extracurriculars, all these other things that you do. It's very easy to get confused and jumbled when you have everything in your head. So writing it down really does clear up some of that mental space. And lastly, for activities. Join activities and clubs early. I joined, I think, all of the extracurriculars that I had in high school for clubs and things like that in my freshman year, and I just stuck with them for my entire high school career. And in the process of you staying throughout those 4 years, you build skills, connections with other people. You just learn a lot in staying consistent. It also builds stamina and helps build that muscle of learning to be consistent and disciplined, and that's a skill that you can use throughout life. Definitely get involved early on. I feel like it opens up a lot more doors and opportunities for you, and it's always just great to have something to do because sometimes high school gets boring and repetitive and there's just filler days, but at least if you have some extracurriculars and things to do outside of school, it won't be so bad. I actually joined TV production in 9th grade, and that's where I met my best friend for the next 4 years of high school. It was actually like so crazy. We were sitting in 4th period, something happened, and then I followed her to the bathroom like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah." So then we started talking a little bit through there, but I was like, whatever. So then I was actually going to the TV production interest meeting after school that day. We ended up talking about that, and she was like, "Oh, me too." So then we went, and 4 years later, we are best friends, inseparable. It's honestly just such a wild experience sometimes how you meet people in high school. You really never know what's gonna come from you meeting a specific person. Because it's funny enough, I actually met one of my other best friends at the end of sophomore year. We were actually in the same classes for the first 2 years of high school, and we just never knew that. So don't be shy to talk to people and reach out to people. I know for some people that's harder than it is for others, but I promise, this is the time to explore and get to know other people, and like I said, building your confidence to even talk to other people, to make new friends. And lastly, saying yes to opportunities. I feel like I said no to a lot of opportunities before I even gave them a chance because of my own fears, and I tend to overthink a lot, so I'm like,
no, this is probably what's gonna happen, pattern recognition, so obviously this is what's gonna happen next, and
I just caused myself a lot of stress by doing that. So instead of letting fear take over and stop you from trying new experiences and doing new things, feel the fear and do it anyway. And that's how you build courage. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build your social skills. High school is such an experience. It's such a transformative 4 years. Don't shut down experiences before you truly see their effects. I think those are some of my back to school tips for high schoolers going back to school this August. I hope you guys have a safe return back to school, and I hope this school year is one of your best ones yet. I hope you guys are just as excited for back to school as I am. I truly cannot wait to go more in depth with some of these topics and talk about other topics such as back to school hygiene, having your emergency kit, everything like that for the girls going back to school. It's gonna be so much fun. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest of the series. Bye guys!